Welcome to the Rusted Warfare Map Generator, a free browser-based tool that lets you create custom maps for Rusted Warfare. No downloads, no installs. Everything runs right in your browser using WebAssembly. With this tool, you can generate anything from small two-player duel maps to large 5 versus 5 battlefields with full control over terrain, elevation, walls, player spawns, and resources. You can go fully random for a quick map or fine-tune every detail in wizard mode. The generated maps are fully compatible with Rusted Warfare. Just drop them into your maps folder and they're ready to play. Let's start with the fastest way to make a map. Quick Generate puts all the settings on one page so you can create a complete map with a single click. Let's walk through the settings. This 5x5 grid is the seed for your coastline. Each cell you toggle on becomes a landmass, and the generator expands it into natural-looking terrain. Think of it as a rough sketch. The algorithm fills in the details. More cells means more land, fewer cells means more water and islands. Height and width control the map dimensions in tiles. These values range from 40 to 640. The generator builds the terrain on a small matrix that doubles in size repeatedly, then scales it down to match your chosen dimensions. So even a 100 by 100 setting produces a detailed battlefield. Height levels control how many visual elevation tiers your terrain has. At 1 level, you get a flat-looking map. At 7, the maximum, you get varied terrain with visible elevation changes across the landscape. These are purely cosmetic. Like the tile set, they affect how the map looks, but not how it plays. The default Rusted Warfare maps typically use around 3 to 4 height levels. Higher values give your map more visual depth and variety. Ocean levels determine how many visual depth layers your water has. More ocean levels adds more color transitions in the water, giving it a sense of depth near the coastline. This is also purely cosmetic. It doesn't change the actual shoreline shape or size. Mirroring is crucial for competitive balance. You have 6 options: none, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, reverse diagonal, and both. Horizontal mirrors left to right, vertical mirrors top to bottom. Both combines horizontal and vertical for full 4-way symmetry. Perfect for 4-player, free-for-all maps. Mirroring affects everything: terrain, walls, player spawns, and resources. So every player gets an identical starting position. 5 visual themes are available: jungle, winter, volcanic, desert, and forest. These are purely cosmetic. They change how the terrain looks, but don't affect gameplay. Pick whatever fits the mood of your map. The player setting controls how many command centers are placed on the map. Resources controls the number of resource pools. Both are distributed automatically in quick generate mode, and the algorithm ensures fair spacing based on your mirroring setting. With mirroring enabled, placements are duplicated symmetrically, so every side gets equal access. Hit generate and watch the map come to life. You can see each generation stage play out: coastline formation, height mapping, and final terrain assembly. Once it's done, hit download zip to get your map file. The archive contains a TMX file you can drop into Rusted Warfare, plus a small preview image. Now let's look at wizard mode, where you get full control over every step. Wizard mode breaks map creation into 6 steps. You work through them in order, and you can always go back to adjust previous steps. This is the same setup you saw in Quick Generate: the seed grid, map size, mirroring, and tile set. The difference is that here you can regenerate the coastline as many times as you want until you get a shape you like. See? Each click produces a different coastline from the same seed grid. The algorithm adds randomness to the edges, so no 2 generations are identical. Just keep clicking until the shape feels right, then move on. This is where the real creativity happens. The Hills tab lets you paint walls and elevation onto your map using two different tools, the brush and polygon layers. The brush is the simplest way to draw. Select the wall brush and paint directly on the map. Left-click and drag to draw, right-click to erase. You can also toggle the eraser button if you prefer. The brush size slider goes from 1 to 9. Larger brushes cover more area, but with less precision. For detailed work, use a small brush. For broad strokes, go away big. The gap brush is special. It creates openings in walls. When you paint a wall and then cut through it with the gap brush, you create a passageway. This is how you make choke points, walls that force players through narrow gaps. You can undo and redo your brush strokes or clear everything and start over. Polygons give you precise geometric control. Click on the map to place vertices, then click the first vertex again to close the shape. The polygon defines a walled area. Once a polygon is placed, you can click on any edge to select it, then toggle it to a gap. Green solid lines are walls, green dashed lines are gaps. This gives you exact control over where players can enter and exit an area. Here's where it gets interesting. When you have mirroring enabled, you'll see purple ghost outlines showing where the mirrored copies of your polygon will appear. You only need to draw once. The mirroring handles the rest. If two polygons overlap, they automatically merge into a single area. And if you draw a polygon inside another polygon, you create nested elevation. The inner area will be higher than the outer one. This is how you build tiered terrain, concentric polygons creating ascending levels like a mountain or a fortress. The green overlay shows elevation depth. Darker green means higher terrain. You can see the elevation legend on the side for reference. Experiment with different polygon shapes and gap placements. Walls are impassable obstacles that create natural choke points, forcing players through gaps you define. This dramatically changes how battles play out. This step is straightforward. The same height and ocean level controls from Quick generate. Remember, these are visual settings that control how the terrain looks, not the gameplay balance. Adjust the values and click Generate. The terrain fills in around the walls you drew in the previous step. The generator creates smooth visual transitions between your wall structures and the surrounding terrain. Command centers are player spawn points. You have two modes, random and manual. Random mode distributes command centers automatically, respecting mirroring and keeping fair distances between players. It avoids water, walls, and map edges. In manual mode, click anywhere on the map to place a command center. Right-click an existing one to remove it. If you check the mirrored placement option, each click places a command center on all mirrored positions at once. So with horizontal mirroring, one click places two, one on each side. Command centers are numbered sequentially as you place them. How Rusted Warfare assigns teams depends on the game engine. With mirroring, each primary placement and its mirror get consecutive numbers, so symmetrically placed players naturally end up on opposing sides. Resource placement works just like command center. You can place them randomly or manually with optional mirrored placement. Resources are the fuel for your armies, so good placement matters. Spread them evenly or cluster them in contested areas to create fight over each objectives. The mirroring ensures both sides get equal access. The final step assembles everything and generates your map file. Click Finalize and download zip. The download contains two files: your map as a TMX file and a small view image. The file name includes the theme layout and a timestamp. For example, here you generated 2v2 followed by the date. To use it in Rusted Warfare, extract the tmx file and place it in your Rusted Warfare maps directory. On Android, that's usually in internal storage under Rusted Warfare, then maps. On PC, check your game's installation folder for a maps directory. Once it's there, the map will appear in your custom maps list. That's everything you need to create custom maps with the Rusted Warfare map generator. Start with quick generate to get a feel for the tool, then switch to wizard mode when you want precise control. If you enjoy the tool, consider supporting the project. Links are in the top right corner of the app. Happy mapping!